Assalamu alaikum YouTube, I hope you guys are okay. Don't forget that you can always listen to this podcast on any of your favourite podcast platforms, Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, whatever, wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. You don't have to come here every Monday and listen to them on YouTube with the screen on and stuff. If you want to listen to them in your car, you absolutely can. But yeah, so I just want to let you guys know that before we get into the episode. So let's get on with it, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum everybody, this is your Arabic teacher Sam and a very, very warm welcome to episode 16 of the Arabic with Sam podcast. As I promised, I did mention on the YouTube channel yesterday that I would be doing a plural verbs workshop for you guys today. Plural verbs are quite rare, and to be honest, they're sort of very neglected. They're rare and neglected verbs, plural verbs are, and so I think it's nice to revisit them and make sure that we kind of brush up on knowing exactly how they work, and also they're an area of Arabic grammar that are particularly violated by Amiyya as well. I'm not against Amiyya, but often students sort of pick up bad habits from it. And I say bad habits, I mean habits that are contrary to Fusha. Obviously, if your objective is to learn Amiyya, then no problem at all. But yeah, if your objective, like pretty most of my listeners, is to be confident in Fusha, confident in standard Arabic, then sometimes Amiyya can make you pick up some bad habits. I know that when I was on my year abroad in Palestine, I picked up some really bad habits that sometimes even come through a little bit when I'm speaking Arabic to people. Even now, I tend to say wain to people, to say where. And min wain, I'd say to say like where are you from? That even creeps into my language a bit sometimes. But yeah, but no problem. And even like Amiyya expressions like ma'alish. You probably have heard that a lot. Ma'alish. It actually comes from ma alayhi shay'. Is actually what it comes from, saying like there's nothing on it. It's sort of what it means. But it means it doesn't matter. Its application is it doesn't matter. Ma'alish. But anyway, let's get on with it, inshallah. So plural verbs. Yeah, so firstly, let's run through the pronouns, actually, because the pronouns will help us sort of understand where some of the mistakes are often made. Because if you go onto the internet and you just search on Google, like, plural verb, I don't know, plural verb tables in Arabic or something, there are a lot that have mistakes in them. And especially pertaining to the feminine plurals. Feminine plurals are generally very rare, and I think that's why there's often mistakes made in them. We sort of forget because they're rarely used in Amiyya at all. I mean, in some dialects of Arabic, they just don't even use the feminine plural. They just use the masculine plural for everybody plural. But even in Fusha, they're rare just because the other genders and the other numbers have other applications in Arabic. So for example, the feminine singular will often be used for other things. Like for example, like groups of people, like al-Yahud, the Jews, al-Nasara, the Christians, al-A'rab, like the Arabs. You treat them as feminine singular. So feminine singular verbs like qalat, laysat, and things like that. Like they so feminine singular verbs are used a lot. Masculine singular verbs used a lot. Because if you don't know the gender of something, kind of the default gender of something is masculine. And then the plural masculine is used more than the feminine. The plural masculine is used more than the plural feminine, because we use it in every circumstance of something being plural, except if they are only women. So if it's a group of men and women, even if there's only one man in a group, then we use the masculine plural. So it's only really when there's a group of only women when you use it. So especially if you're a man, just culturally, if you go to the Arab world, you're rarely going to be in a situation where you're just addressing a group of women, or you're in an environment where it's you and a load of women. So men very rarely use it, especially, and probably even women rarely use it too. But let's run through the pronouns then. So we have hum. Hum is just they, masculine. Third person, plural, masculine. Hum. We have hunna. Don't forget that it is hunna. It's not hun. That's something that they do in Amiyya a lot. They say hun instead of hunna. But remember that there is a shadda and a fatha on hunna, on the pronoun when you're saying they, when you're talking about a group of women. You, so second person, plural, is antum. antum, and then the feminine is antunna. So just remember with the pronouns, you always have to remember the shadda on the end of them. So hunna and antunna. So just to run through them again, hunna, antum, antunna. Yeah, that's how those pronouns work. And then in the first person, the plural is nahnu. Another thing which is sort of unanimously across all of the different dialects of Arabic that I've ever heard, they changed nahnu to ihna. Don't know why. Don't know where ihna comes from, but nahnu is what it is in Fusha, and then in Aramiya, ihna. Let's run through a verb then. We tend to just use the verb kataba as our sort of stock verb that we demonstrate things with, and I think that's good practice when we're encountering something for the first time. It's sometimes if we chuck a new verb in there that we've never met before in the example, then sometimes we forget that the point is the conjugating rather than the verb itself. So we'll just stick with our baseline verb, kataba. So let's run through the past tense first, the fi'l madi, the mad. We just add endings onto the end. In the past tense, we're just adding endings. We add suffixes, not prefixes. Suffixes. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's suffixes or suffixes. Maybe you should call in or put it in the comments. Let me know if it's suffixes or suffixes, how you pronounce that. Anyway, prefixes or prefaces are things you stick on the beginning of a word. Suffixes, same, but just for the end of the word. So in the past tense, we just stick them on the end of the word. So we just add a oo on the end with an elif as well. So kataba becomes katabu in the plural. So they wrote katabu. And there is an elif. You need an elif on the end. There is a reason why you should have the elif on the end. One of its the main reason is so you can separate it from a word that comes after it. Because sometimes if you just have a wow on the end of a word, especially a verb, when obviously verbs never take tanween, so I suppose it would be hard to separate it from a verb that comes after it. If, for example, you had the verb kafaru, it said that they disbelieved, kafaru. If you just had this oo on the end with no elif, because ra is one of these letters that we call naughty letters, it doesn't join to the wow. That wow could be the beginning of the word that comes after it as well. So it could just be saying kafara wa, whatever else, but we're not saying kafaru. So you know that when there's an elif on the end, that is the whole word. Good. So we just had an oo, a wow, and an elif. Katabu. Next, we just add a na on the end. So we just have katabna. And that's the hunna katabna. If you're saying that the women, the women only wrote something. Hunna katabna, and it's just with a noon with a fatha on it. It's not with a long elif, just a noon with a fatha. So good. Next one, the same as the pronoun is antum. It makes sense that the ending is katabtum. So far we've had katabu, katabna, katabtum, and then we have katabtunna. The same as the pronoun is antunna, we have katabtunna. Even in the verb, you need to remember that there is a shadda. In this past tense, second person, antunna katabtunna. Next, we have the first person. Just the plural of ana, I, is nahnu, as we said. And the reason why I emphasize so much that in the third person, plural feminine, when you say katabna, and it's just a short noon with a short fatha, is because when we're saying in the first person, we say katabna, we have a long on the end. Katabna. Nahnu katabna, we wrote. Nahnu katabna. Nahnu aslamna, we became Muslims. Nahnu akalna, we ate. Nahnu safarna, we traveled. نحن سافرنا إلى whatever country, إلى مصر or إلى المغرب or whatever country. Very nice. So those are the past tense. Okay, those are the past tense. That's how they work. Let's have a look at the present tense together, inshallah. So obviously the present tense is of cases. The present tense does have cases. You have in Arabic, you have the mabni and the mu'rab. If something is mabni, then its ending is always the same. Literally, it's literally saying that it's already been built. The verb bana means to build something. So it's already been built. And the past tense in Arabic is mabni. It's already been built. It can't change its case. You can never have case endings, كتبنو, كتبني, or كتبنا. You never do that. Okay, the past tense, that's how they are. They don't change their cases. Present tense in the فعل مضارع, the فعل مضارع is of three kinds. It is of the مرفوع, it's the منصوب, and the مجزوم. There's no مجرور for verbs. What that means is مرفوع is just a normal verb, nominative, normal, declarative verb. منصوب, or what we call the fatha case or the A case in the Western tradition, is not only, but those of you who are on the Arabic in 60 Steps program, you will have first met this in lesson 12 when we use it with the future, when we use len, and then we use a verb that usually has a fatha on the end. But in the plural, it's not quite the same case. You know, we don't do it in that way in the plural. And in the majzoom, the term jazm really means that the verb is sort of squeezed, because it often requires you to cut things off of the end and things like that. So we'll work through those perhaps one at a time. So let's just start off with the marfu', the way that we usually learn the fi'l mudari'. So there's a really systematic way that we can learn the plural of the present tense verbs, and that is that the indicator of that their third person is a ya at the beginning. So yaktubu, but the way that we spot that it's masculine or feminine is the ending. So third person, masculine and feminine, both have ya at the beginning. Excuse me. Second person, masculine and feminine, both have ta at the beginning. And then the plural of each of those is just determined by the ending. So let me read through them for you. So the hum is yaktubuna, yaktubuna. So the ya at the beginning tells us that it's they. The una tells us that it's masculine. The next one, yaktubna. The ya at the beginning tells us that it's third person. The na on the end tells us that it's feminine. And now we do the exact same thing, but with the second person, which is indicated to us by the ta at the beginning. So taktubuna means you are all writing. Taktubna, you are all writing if you're just a group of women. Okay, it's quite a systematic way of learning those. So just running from the top to the bottom for you again. Yaktubuna, yaktubna. Taktubuna, taktubna. And then last, rather than having the na on the end for nahnu, like we have it with katabna, we have it on the beginning. We just have nektubu, nektubu. You know, often that is taught with the singulars, because in the singulars we tend to just have something on the beginning. We have, you know, yaktubu, tektubu, tektubu, tektubina, ektubu, and then sometimes teachers will teach nektubu on the end as well, because it's like the singular, you don't add anything onto the end, right? Like you know. So often teachers do that, but for the sake of this, we're doing a plurals workshop, so we'll keep it in the plurals. Good. So, when we have cases, with the nahnu, with the we tend to just treat it the same way that we treat singular verbs. Now, for example, if you'd have yaktubu, obviously singular means he is writing or he writes, yaktubu. If we would make it mansub, we just have len yaktuba, meaning he will not write, len yaktuba. And we do the exact same thing with the nahnu. So len nektuba, you know, we will not write. Len nektuba, we will not write. And the same with the jazm, you know, the same way that you would have lem in the past tense if you say he did not write, lem yaktub, and you just put a sukun on the end, lem yaktub. And and you do that with the nahnu as well. So len lem nektub, lem nektub. You know, we did not write, lem nektub. Yeah, so you treat it. I think that's another wisdom, really. I think in teaching the we, the nahnu, when you teach the singular, because even in the different cases of the fi'l mudari', it behaves the same as the singular. But anyway, so let's have a look at the others. Okay, so third and second person, plural of the present tense verbs. So yeah, we're talking about saying they are eating, or you are eating, or you are writing, or they are writing, but in the plural. And in the present tense, sorry. Cool, so if there is an una on the end, if there's an una on the end, then with the cases, you do this little rule called hadhf an-nun, and you do this in both the jazm and in the mansub with what we call the 5 verbs, al-af'al al-khamsa. And there are 5 verbs which are enti. So whenever we have the ina on the end, we say like tektubina. And then in the two of the duals as well that have two of the endings on, we'll do those in a separate video. And then these two plurals as well, yaktubuna and tektubuna. So what we do is the same with the enti. I'll just mention briefly. All you do is you cut off the noon. Hadf for noon really just means you remove the noon. So if you're going to say something like you didn't write, you're saying it to a girl. Okay, so it's in the enti. It'd just be like you just say like lem tektubi. Lem tektubi, you didn't write. Whereas if you're just saying you write, it'd be tektubina. But yes, when you use the lem, you end up cutting off the noon on the other end. And that's the same with these, but there's a little other something that you do with these. So if you're going to say, they did not write, lem yaktubu, or you did not write, lem tektubu. But it's not just ooh, the same as what we learned in the past tense with ketebu. You have to replace that noon with an elif. Because we've got a word with a waw on the end. That's the reason why. If you're not allowed to have ketebu with just a waw on the end, then you're certainly not allowed to have yaktubu with just a waw on the end. There's no reason why the rule would be different in that case. So you stick an elif in there. So that is all the stuff that I really wanted to cover in the verbs workshop. I think there is scope and there is a hunger to maybe do a nouns plural workshop as well, and to run through how they work, because a lot of people struggle just with memorizing the patterns and stuff like that, and I tried to discourage that. Like in my program, the students of you who are on my program, you'll notice that when I give you the vocab lists, I just give you the plurals as we go. So your ear just gets used to them. Your ear just gets used to hearing qalam, aqlam, qamar, aqmar, shams, shumus, fil, afyal, bayt, buyut, kitab, kutub. You just get used to hearing what the correct plural is. I like that approach, and I like students to have just heard it and got their ear accustomed to it a bit more before they kind of learn the nitty gritty of the patterns and of the rules and the technicalities of how we literally do like a broken plural called jum'a taksir, how we literally do taksir of a word, how we open it up and we put different vowels in there and stuff. Because that doesn't always come easy to people. So it might be worth us doing a verbs workshop. A plural nouns workshop. I think it might be worth us doing. But I'll listen to you guys. I'll let you guys speak, and I will listen to you, inshallah. So that's everything for this episode of the Arabic with Sam podcast. I pray that you've enjoyed it. And and if you did, please don't forget to let me know. Let me know what you think about the podcast. A lot of you have got in touch with me over Instagram, which is absolutely amazing. I love receiving a DM from someone, especially you guys on Spotify. You guys deserve a shout out. You guys who listen on Spotify, you guys are the biggest audience of the podcast by far, which is awesome. Keep representing, you guys. Keep it going on Spotify, please. Thank you guys for being part of it and for lending me your ear. We'll call it a day. Send in your questions, inshallah. Obviously, you're always welcome to email me, arabicwithsam@gmail.com. And then on all the other platforms, from Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, even Vero. If you've ever even heard of Vero, I have an account on there. If you guys use that, @ArabicWithSam, all of them's the same, @ArabicWithSam, even the website, arabicwithsam.com, and that's it. Tomorrow on the YouTube channel, usually those of you guys are watching on YouTube, I'll unplug the podcast mic, and then I'll just do an announcement to the YouTube guys. But I might as well just tell all of you whilst you're all here. Tomorrow on the YouTube channel will be our first ever episode of Tuesday talkthroughs. A lot of you know that on Wednesdays I do Wednesday walkthroughs, and on Wednesday we walk through an Arabic text, and I take out the lessons of grammar and vocab and stuff. But I wanted us to do Tuesday talkthroughs, for us to do the same sort of thing, but in an oral environment. So we'll watch a video. We'll have a video in Arabic. Tomorrow I have a little episode, a little clip from an episode of Mr. Bean in Arabic. And there's a vocab list of about 30 words in there. So you'll learn about 30 words, 1 minute clip from Mr. Bean. It's a nice bit of fun. It's a good way for students to strengthen their listening and their speaking as well. And I think it'll be a nice little episode for us, inshallah. So for those of you who are listening on the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. If you're on iTunes, I think you can leave a rating or something, can't you? Please leave me a rating, inshallah. That's always good for the podcast. Comment away. Get in touch with me, inshallah. tell the people that you know about the podcast who might be interested in it and might benefit from it, and we'll call it a day. Spotify guys, Stitcher guys, iTunes guys, all the rest of you listening on the podcast, YouTube guys, may Allah bless you guys. I appreciate you guys so much for listening and for being part of it. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All the podcast guys, come over to the YouTube channel. Come on guys, come over to the YouTube channel, mate. I'll see you tomorrow for the first ever episode of Talk Through Tuesdays. Tuesday Talk Throughs. Should probably say it right. Tuesday Talk Throughs. Be there or be murabba. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.